All right. So by show of hands, how many of you have seen someone or something run into a glass door or window? How many of you have been victims of that? All right. So how many of you have accidentally, or not necessarily accidentally, put a scratch on your or someone else's phone? I have done that many times. And last but not least, how many times, and maybe, I don't know if you guys have had this happen, but have you done dishes only to pull them out and your glass tumblers are all clouded? It's very frustrating. So we've all had instances where we've had a run-in with glass of some shape or kind. Glass is one of the most versatile and earthly materials that we have today, and most people don't really think twice about it. It's become such a common sight, or rather lack thereof, that most people just don't really pay any attention to it, hence all those funny videos of people running into glass doors. When I started looking into the subject, I thought I kind of had an idea of what it was. I come from the Crystal City, we're the glass capital of America, and so I thought I knew a pretty decent amount of information about it. But I discovered that I was very wrong. So today I'd like to share with you what I've learned from researching this important piece of earthly substance, the history of glass, how it is and has been made, and the different ways that it's been used throughout its existence. So just what is glass? Glass can be described in two words, liquid sand. Now this might catch some of you guys off guard because when you think of sand, you think of that nasty, grainy stuff that gets stuck to you and does not go away months after you've come home from the beach. But there is a process in which glass can actually become a liquid. This process is seen in nature as well. Many people don't realize it, but obsidian is actually considered a natural or volcanic glass. Due to the intense heat of the molten lava cool rapidly, this dark rock becomes reflective in its surface, and it acts as a glass, and it's actually called a volcanic glass. Another example of glass occurring in nature is, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but I've actually seen it, the examples of it. But if lightning is to strike a beach somewhere, the instant heat and the cooling that happens creates these amazing glass structures. And I was not able to find a picture of it, but it was very cool. So it's very interesting. So this process is used in the world today, and actually to get to that liquid sand, you have to heat up your glass, or the sand, until 3,090 degrees Fahrenheit. So that seems like a really big number, but just to put it into perspective for you, you will not be able to make glass in your house. You cannot take the sand away with you from the beach and put it in your oven. Most house ovens only get up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And so to put it in another perspective for you, this is 3,090 degrees Fahrenheit. You get third degree burn from touching something that's 140 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 seconds. So this is about 22 times that temperature. It's pretty intense. All right. So now that we've discovered that you're not supposed to really touch molten glass, let's see just how the substance has been used throughout history. So the first man-made glass was created in Mesopotamia and Egypt, and that was over 4,000 years ago. So this was the time of the pharaohs. They had their headdress, they had decorative vases and things, and it was reserved for the upper class or nobility. So as you can see in this picture, they had lots of decorative embellishments and things around their homes. And then fast forward a couple years, and we get to the Bronze Age, where glass has kind of become more common. But it's not until 2nd century BC that it's used in a much more elaborate form that we know today as mosaics. And actually how you make mosaics is you take a glass rod, and it can have different metals and minerals in it that changes the colors. And they heat the glass up and then take some shears and cut the glass, and it actually creates these little round discs that they then form into different shapes, which is how you can see here if there's different like little spots on it. So it's very interesting. So since we know how glass has been used, now we can see how exactly it's made. Well, glass has been around since the beginning of time with the lightning and the volcanoes. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm at the wrong spot. So there's many different types of glass, and these glasses are changed based on the elements that are added to the sand. The most common form of glass is soda lime silica glass, and that's what you see in like our window panels. And that's composed of soda ash, limestone, and sand. Liquid glass is processed in 3 ways. It can be poured into molds, which is how we get our bottles and our vases and all those different kind of things. It can be floated, which is actually put on top of molten tin metal, and that creates a flat surface. And then there's also can be blown, which is how, I don't know if you guys have seen ornaments. I've actually created a blown ornament, and you put a gob of glass at the end of this pipe, and you blow into the pipe, and it creates a balloon at the end, and then you wait for it to cool. It's very fascinating. And then our common uses for glass. We mostly think of art and our windows and our dishware, but there's some uncommon uses for glass. The screens of our digital devices, you might not think about that. Fiber optic cables, those cables actually are bendable. This is glass that can bend. It's very interesting. And then medical uses as well. They're actually looking into seeing if they can create glass, a substance, that can help heal bones. They're going to put it into, if a bone is broken, and see if it will have the same makeup and can actually speed up the healing process. So, but glass has had quite the impact on our civilization, and it's just very interesting to see the history and how it has affected us as a world. So, yeah, that's it. That's fine.